What's going on? We got Magnamon versus Wargreymon. Even before I started this match, I already knew Wargreymon was. I think the raid mechanic is gonna be really good against the Magnamon, just because no effects affected. He can unsuspend. He does have armor purge, but the Wargreymon, when you switch an attack target, you can unsuspend with raid. So then therefore you could technically swing at it twice. However, if that Magnamon has the X antibody and then a normal Magnamon, you're still going to have a Vmon after those two hits. Point is, I think it's a good way to get rid of the Magnamon. Now the downside is that Wargreymon, it was a really good deck, but it has slowly gotten power crept. And the reason I say that is because although it's nasty as far as, you know, you have raid, you have security attack plus 20, you have high DP ceiling, you still need a lot of searching and a lot of setup to be able to do what the deck is meant to do. Now, Magnamon is pretty quick. You just need champions really to win the game. Drop a few fire rockets here and there, and you know you're good to go. Now, Wargreymon also does have blocker, in a sense, with the tie that gives Digimon with Agumon, Greymon, or Omnimon, if I'm not mistaken, blocker. So it could work. But here we go. Here's a perfect example. That Magnamon starter deck, stripping that source and now just bouncing that Agumon back. So now you're gonna have to really build up in the breeding area with the Wargreymon, which is what you usually do. But because of that chip damage that Magnamon brings, especially with that jamming Vmon, you want a body up there to at least answer that Vmon. So it's gonna be difficult in that sense. So that's what we're dealing with. And yeah, let's see how this plays out. So the Agumon is dropped for that searching. Reveal 4, get a tie in its name and a Greymon and Omnimon. Not Ant, or an Omnimon. Either one or the other. We are starting the build up in the back with the Agumon. Clearly there's no champions unless they just wanted the draw power. Magnamon already having a memory set tamer with a training boost. Training. Is it? Mental training? Yeah, mental training, not boost. Dropping that yellow awakening of the yellow knight, whatever it's called. Now the reason it was able to be played is because if you have a Digimon with armor in its trait, you're able to play it without color requirements. So now we just digivolved into the X antibody for 3 as opposed to 5. Swing activating its all turns, which will trigger as one digivolving again, unsuspending, and now passing turn with that Vmon. So it's one digivolve triggered twice, so he should be at 18,000 DP, this Magnamon X antibody. And yeah, and here we go. The Wargreymon is still just searching for pieces. So this is what I mean here, is like, even if you do build up and if you don't have a blocker, or if you can OTK, you have a block, or Magnamon has that blocker, so you really wouldn't be able to OTK it. And now there goes that tie, dropping for the blocker. Does have a memory set tamer, so now Magnamon is at 3 memory, moves up to Vmon, so now we got 2 jamming Vmons. There's potentially 4 checks right there. Not unsuspend. Plays Digivolves for reduced cost of 2, triggering that mental training. And now bounces the Agumon back to the hand, and there we go. So now, in playing Flame Rocket, I've said this in other videos, but if you haven't watched them, the Flame Rocket, you can't activate it. Ooh, that Crimson was good, and just gonna delete a target at least. But you can't play Fire Rocket if you just have the Magnamon X antibody on the board, because it does not have armor in its trait. I forgot what it is. I think it's just free or something. And so that is why the Magnamon was evolved, and now you could play the Fire Rocket even though you don't have a red color. Hey guys, check out my new app, Card Vault. Card Vault helps you keep track of your card collection, You can build your own decks and so much more. Available now on iOS, Android, coming soon. And there you go. That's how quick it was. I couldn't even finish my thoughts. Anyway, here we go. Round 2. See if this one could be a little better at least, but that's probably what you're gonna get. Unless you're able to you're gonna have to have all the pieces in your hand from the get-go, and you're gonna have to have the Magnamon brick, not have any memory set tamers. A lot of things are going to have to fall in your favor as a Wargreymon player to be able to kind of go against the Magnamon. Not saying it's impossible, it definitely is possible. Here we go, we did Digivolve Agumon in the back, played a offense training, dropped an Agumon for the more search, got an Alterius, X Antibody, Hades Force, sucks to see that one there. Get the Greymon, and now we go. Now we have a target. So when that Agumon moves up from the breeding area, it could Digivolve into a Greymon for free. If they choose to, switch turn. And now we should get a memory from that Davis since Vmon is in play. Digivolve into the Magnamon. And there you go. And I just... oh god, this Magnamon is nuts. Yeah. That's nuts. Digivolving for 2, putting Magnamon back at 1 or 2 with the Davis. See if I actually gained the memory here, if I remember. No? No? Okay, yeah, no, definitely not. But I do remember that draw for having a blue tamer, I guess. Yeah, so the Magnamon should be at 2 here, although it would have passed turn, but it would have left them at 1 for that Digivolution. So now we got 2 Magnamons on board, both blockers. Both with Armor Purge. Just absolutely nuts. Here we go. We do Digivolve to that Metal Greymon, leaving the Magnamon at 1. But the Davis will put him at 2. Digivolving for the Vmon there. So the memory should have been gained before Digivolve the Vmon down there, because technically that is the main phase then. Magnamon does swing, hitting a Greymon, dropping a Blue Mem, leaving Greymon at 1 memory. That's the other thing too. If you choke Wargreymon, they can still build up, especially if they got those offense training. You know, they can just Digivolve for 1, but it still makes it a little more difficult for Wargreymon to do what it has to do. But in this case, we already have that set up. We got the offense training there, but we're gonna Digivolve for 0 first to the X Antibody, getting 3000 DP at 11. If it's a Wargreymon, not Wargreymon, Metal Greymon underneath, getting an extra security attack +1. There should be for 1. So now this Wargreymon has security attack +1, 2, +2, plus 300 from his attack. So he's at 15, 16, 17 from the Agumon, drawing from the Koromon, raid into that Magnamon, unsuspense from his effect. Now able to swing into that Vmon. The piercing didn't go through the first time because you have to delete a Digimon in order for you to go through with the piercing. So now, oh god. So now that it went through, it checks 3 cards in total, but hit that Magnamon, it Digivolves an opponent's Digimon. So now Wargreymon is gone. Still getting that security checks in. It's another 2 right there, so it does survive. And now the tie does get played, becoming a blocker, giving it another 1000 DP. It does have reboot because of the when Digivolving. It's until the end of the turn, or it's a when Digivolving effect, which is why he has it. So it's good. Now we got a 9000. Is it 9000? No, because I think you still get the 3 from the Wargreymon, so he should be at 12,000 DP, but doesn't matter. Heaven's Judgment minus 6, 12, 18,000. Just gets rid of that Metal Greymon, and yep, rage quit right there. Rage quit. At that point, it's, yeah. It came close, but didn't get the Digivolved. I mean, drops that Yuya, and then see what we can do here. Move up with that Vmon, gain the memory, go to 4, fire rocket. Oh, this is dumb. Because now if that Magnamon dies, that Vmon has jamming, so it's going to go through anyway. So right there, the Magnamon does get popped. And Vmon is left, swinging that last check with jamming. It's absolutely nuts. It's a Agumon. Now going for the Evo again into a Magnamon. This one, when you Digivolve it unsuspends, and for every armored Digimon in your trash, you get 2000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a 17,000. Oh, Magnamon DP or attacker and blocker. Swings, Fire Rocket is until the end of the turn. Hella GG's.